Hey, what's going on? It's Focal Point here. November 12th, just the day after Veterans Day, 2013. I got my ASAP plate about 2 weeks ago, and I went ahead and installed it just because I wanted to have a head start on. I wanted to, we did a video and I wanted to already have stuff lined out and pros and cons and what you're going to need. So just kind of want to jump into it real quick and make this a short video, but also, you know, real informational. I went ahead and what I've done is taken apart the lower from the upper, and I've gone ahead and removed my buffer spring. And you can just kind of set that out to the side. I do want to show you this. This is a DPMS Oracle. The tools you're going to need, there's going to be an armorer's wrench. You're going to need that for this piece right here with that little hook on it. And then like maybe you can use a pen, an ink pen, or in my case I just use a flathead screwdriver. And I'll show you what you're going to need it for. Okay, so first things first is you want to break this castle nut right here. So what you need is this armorer's wrench for that. And you're going to take this notch right here and you're going to set it up right there and put that notch inside one of those, and then you're going to twist it. So if you take the gun and you're pointing it away from you like you're shooting it, you want to turn it to the left. So put that up there, and I didn't need a vise. I just put it between my knees, kind of like that. I'm sorry, like this, and it hurt a little bit, but it broke just fine. It wasn't hard. So when you're doing that though, as soon as you break it, you kind of want to hold your detent right here for the buffer spring. Reason being is that this obviously is on a spring. So I'm going to kind of show you what happens. So I'm going to go on and untwist it. Sorry, that's not supposed to happen, but anyways. It's kind of twofold here. You want to hold this plate down, and at the same time, go on and screw this. The reason you want to hold that plate down is because this is what happens right here. You're holding down this pin, which is pressed up against your detent to hold your takedown pin in place. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute, but that's exactly why you want to hold that. So you're going to unscrew, you know, I loosen up the castle nut all the way. And again, this is where you kind of want to hold that plate in place back there. And then you can use a screwdriver for this to hold this down at the same time, but I feel that I can still do it here. You just kind of want to put enough pressure where it doesn't fly out here, and I promise you, those of you who have done this, you've seen it. It'll fly clear across your room and you'll lose it. So just kind of press that down. I'm just going to press it down a little bit, and I'm going to back out my my tube here. Oops, wrong direction. And as you back it out a little bit, just kind of slowly let off that detent and pull the spring and the detent out. It comes right out. So in the meantime, you're trying to hold this down as best as possible, but you also kind of want to let it out loose, because what's happening is that this spring, if you can kind of imagine this, you see this little piece right here is sitting right in there and it's being pushed up against that plate. So when you lift this off, that's what's holding it right there. So I'm just going to go and pull this off real quick, guys. I mean, it's a lot of people, I kind of was scared to do it myself, and I don't want to say scared, but just nervous, because you're not used to doing this stuff. But I promise you, it's okay. Stuff's replaceable too. It's cheap. Like these springs and stuff. I think I ordered new springs anyways, just in case I screwed stuff up. So, anyways, in the meantime, that's going to be sitting down in there like that with your detent in. All right. So go on and pull that pin out. Just kind of get out of the way, because you don't want to bind it up. I'm going to show you what happened though. Kind of led to a couple things here. If you can see that bare metal right there, when I went to break that castle nut, this is the DPMS stock. It's a commercial stock, which I didn't know until I'll tell you in a minute. So I broke that, and as I was unscrewing, all of those threads right there just kind of broke off and just started falling. And it sucks because the castle nut will not unscrew any further. I don't know what's going on there. So this is what actually broke right there. I don't know if it was Loctite or what, but I don't want to knock on DPMS, but this is a cheap part. And obviously I think everybody, it's kind of known anyways. But anyways, so it led to me getting on Bravo Company's website. I ordered a mil-spec buffer tube, Newcastle nut, and I kind of screwed up the pin in the process, kind of bent it in half, so I ordered a couple new pins from I think Midway USA, maybe cheaper than dirt, I can't remember, and you know, they're only like a couple bucks. Now we're going to put on the ASAP ring. So you're going to get your ASAP ring, and you're going to also have your, I don't know what this is, but it's just like a locking pin almost, and we'll get to that in a minute. So what you want to start out with is just go on and put our spring in here. Just get that there, set that back down, and then let's just go on and get the ASAP ring onto the buffer tube, and then you're kind of gonna hold some stuff in place here. It's a little, you gotta finagle a little bit, but it's easy, I promise. And I'll show you what happens. So you're just gonna start screwing this on. Be gentle. Don't cross your threads. We're not gonna worry about that spring underneath just yet. I just want to get this on and going. So it's already on and going right now. You don't want to twist this in too far, because remember, you got to put your detent back in for your buffer tube. So once you get that going, this is what's nice about putting on the ASAP plate. You can go on and push this down, and you don't have that locking piece in just yet. So you kind of push that down there, get that pin down and seated, seat the plate against the upper receiver. Then go on and just snug down this castle nut, and that's so you can just hold that plate kind of in place so the spring doesn't come out. That's holding the detent for the takedown pin. So just kind of snug it. It doesn't need to be, you know, real tight or anything. Go on and get your buffer tube detent. I'm sorry, your buffer spring detent. Pop it down in this little hole. Back off this castle nut a little bit now, and kind of hold the ASAP. You're kind of doing a little bit here all at once. You want to back off that castle nut now. And then while you're holding the ASAP plate in place, start tightening up your buffer tube here. And what's going to happen is it's going to catch the buffer tube. When you see it, your buffer tube is made where it's kind of got a little bit more metal that sticks out towards the bottom where it's supposed to catch. And what's going to happen is you're going to see this line right here, and that you're going to match that up with the same cutout that's on the bottom of the ASAP plate. I don't know if you're going to see that or not, but it's there. And once that's lined up, just kind of leave it there, and you're not going to want to tighten your buffer tube up anymore. You just want it to hold that pin in place, and then make sure that lines up as well. Everything will just kind of be squared away with these adjustment notches and everything. So you should have a little bit of play right here where you can press that ASAP down. While you're holding this now, back this out. Almost forgot, you do need a pair of really tiny needle nose pliers, which I forgot to set out. And what you're going to want those for is to hold this set pin right here. I don't know what it's really called, but that's what I'm going to call it. You're going to take them. You're just going to drop that down in there, and it's going to line up. What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to line this up, so like if you're looking at this long ways, you want to put the top against that slot, and also fit it down into the slot of the ASAP ring. And it's like I think I watched another video guy explained it very well as being like a keystone if you're like laying brick, and I really like that. And I'm gonna find him and seeing it just kind of sits right down in there. I hope you guys can see that. I'll know on playback. It just sits right down in there. I'll add a picture if it doesn't show up. So, and then that's when, once that keystone's down in there, that retaining pin, you just snug down the castle nut as best as possible. And then this is where it gets a little tricky, because of this ring right here, it makes it kind of difficult, or just a little bit more harder to snug it down with the armorer's wrench. But you just want to try and catch it somewhere on here, and then tilt your armorer's wrench towards you while you're holding it like this, just enough where you can kind of get some property there. And all you're wanting to do, you're just wanting to catch here and make sure you get that that notch in a hole. And guys, you don't need this to be super tight. I promise you, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't need no Loctite. Just kind of snug that down a little bit. Maybe come over here, do it one more time. I just did that pretty snug. Okay, one, you don't want to strip the capsule nut out. You don't want to mar up your weapon either. It's not there. I think that's perfect. And then that's the installation of the ASAP ring. Super easy, guys. If you guys have any questions, you know, leave me a comment or something. Maybe I might set up an email address. You guys can hit me up. Maybe we can Skype or something. I'll walk you through it. So I'm all about helping you guys out, and anybody who can send me stuff to help me out, sweet. In the meantime, so because of this Bravo company is a mil-spec tube, my DPMS stock would not fit on there. It is a different dimension, guys. It's very, very little, but it's enough to where it won't fit. So I ended up getting me the Magpul MOE stock. I'm on the fence of what color I want to go with. I got some other stuff on order that's OD green, so I'm gonna have some mismatched stuff for a while, but that's just so I can figure out what I want. So when you get the stock, if you guys do the same route, go and just kind of line it up on there. You want to push this in, and then you want to take your two fingers like this, and you see a pin here, and there's a pin over here. You just want to take your two fingers just like that and push them out. And it's a little tough, guys. You gotta just push them out a little bit. Maybe wear some gloves when you do that. It's not very comfortable on your fingers. I got pretty callous fingers though, and that's on there now. Fits good. I like it. Now I can put my single point on, and this is the MS2 sling. And there we go, guys. It's gonna hang just about like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I try to keep these short and sweet. I noticed. Thanks for watching, guys.